I don't know what that means.
Simpsons reference.
From the Family
Simpsons
Guy.
reference. That was
Hey.
like a reference you should know. That's an old school good Simpsons reference.
That was.
I recently tried to get the family to watch Simpsons, but my wife decided it was just not appropriate for the kids, which was a super bummer.
Well,
yeah.
Sure,
we watched some medieval episode.
But you watched Rick and Morty instead, right?
Yeah.
I should. I'll try it.
I'll try anything once.
Maybe not in front of the kids. Maybe not in front of the kids.
Yeah, don't show Rick and Morty to the kids.
No.
Okay.
If your wife had trouble with The Simpsons being family friendly? Woo!
Did you have your kids like 2001? Is that 1996? Is that when you had your kids?
No.
Back when we all thought The Simpsons wasn't family friendly.
Right.
You're hosting, right, CJ?
Yeah.
Well, because there was.
Is this some sort of coup?
I just wanted to make.
Is Greg orchestrating a coup?
There was some talk that because I'm sick, I got a cold. I don't know if you can tell. That Greg would host, but I think something's going to host this week. Go ahead, Phil.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome.
No, not Sam Raimi.
One and all. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a ball.
It was great to see that video that someone posted on Twitter.
What's that?
Oh yeah,
Edwin. They had footage of him doing the voice of the Mad Hatter.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Pretty good.
That's right.
Pretty good. All right. Hello and welcome to episode 584 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, January 16th, 2018. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
It was
unseasonably warm this week, but now it's cold again.
Dipped up into the low 40s.
It was like 14, 15 degrees Celsius.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Still don't know.
I keep meaning to look it up, and I don't. It was warm. What can I say?
It was a veritable heat wave.
Veritable heat wave.
Yeah, and joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Hello.
How's it going, sir?
Well, you know what I did on my birthday?
Hey, it's Phil's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That was the most passive-aggressive reminder ever. Go ahead.
Sat around and talked to a bunch of ingrates who I can barely tolerate on the best of weeks.
You were talking to Ethan before the show?
Yeah. Ethan is my spiritual advisor. I call him every Sunday morning, and we,
You have a spiritual congress?
Ethan, come on. He has a 0.05 chance of getting like really good feedback from me. It's a gamble,
Ethan preaches. Yeah. He preaches the hatred of loot crates.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yes. And joining us from the great state of California, Mr. Ethan Einhorn. Hello.
Hello, and I would submit that I am actually taking a bigger sacrifice than Phil is. It's his birthday. You get that once a year. I am missing a Alamo Drafthouse screening of Howard the Duck in 70 millimeter right now, just to be with you lugheads. So
I got to go with Ethan on this one.
Yeah, I think Ethan's won it.
So what you say is you agree with the politics of the owners of the Alamo Drafthouse?
I don't know what the politics are beyond.
Okay. Well, there's a little post-show research.
Should we be outraged? Are we outraged? I can't keep up.
A little post-show research. Not only did he want to go to the Alamo Drafthouse, he wanted to go to the Alamo Drafthouse to watch a film starring Jeffrey Jones.
Oh,
yeah, that guy.
I don't know if it's the headliner.
I
don't know. I feel like Leah Thompson is
Jeffrey Jones is a little.
I'm just saying
he's a significant role. Yes,
yeah,
I would put him probably like 5th on the list of people.
I don't know.
Yeah, Tim Robbins is in there.
Yeah,
okay.
Go for Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson, Tim Robbins. Name another human in Howard the Duck.
Well, the duck. I know it's not a human, but the actor is the main character.
Not a human.
Still probably gets higher billing than Jeffrey Jones.
Probably.
Higher billing?
Yeah.
Bill? I get it. Duck humor.
I just like that movie.
It's a little duck joke for you at home, everybody.
Leah Thompson, she made that movie worth watching.
It's been a while.
And that was in her prime. That was like right after Back to the Future.
Oh, man, I was so in love with Leah Thompson. Yeah.
I mean, who wasn't?
Yeah, I know.
Leah Thompson, Helen Slater.
Warm in here.
Supergirl.
Ooh.
Anybody have the?
Helen Slater.
yeah.
Yeah. Helen Slater. Yeah.
Helen Slater. Yeah. Although I always
And
remember her
sadly-
more for the Legend of Billie Jean.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's because it was on A&E all the time.
Ah, yes. I
Sadly,
guess we'll
the
file
people
that
who-
under entertainment as opposed to arts.
What about City Slickers?
What about City Slickers?
Isn't she in City Slickers?
Was she?
You're thinking of
think
Billy
so.
Crystal.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Not even. Yeah. Not the Billie Jean. Not Billy. Legend of Billie Crystal. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was one of Helen
Right,
Slater's
right.
biggest roles. Legend of Billie Crystal.
I don't know what it is, but every time I watch
Curly's
Monsters
Gold.
Inc., I get a boner.
I don't know how that could be.
Don't know what's doing that for me, but it's doing it for me.
Oh, speaking of boners, I bet Seward's got one over the
Put that thing
Retrobit.
down where you got it. Oh, so help me.
Retrobit is doing a bunch of Sega peripherals
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Showing off at CES. They're doing like Bluetooth controllers for the Dreamcast style and Genesis style controllers.
Yeah, the
good stuff.
Genesis. That's definitely cool. It'd be nice to use one of those for my RetroPie.
Uh-huh.
Because I already have like a decent
Oh, and there you go.
Super Nintendo knockoff for
Yeah.
Oh, is
a
that
lot of the
the
games, but
Oh, that's not the 8-bit dough?
oh, it's a cheap ass, like it's called Tata.
Oh, wow.
I don't.
All
It's
right.
good enough,
Oh,
but
They smuggled the molds.
pretty much.
from Nintendo
Yeah,
to
Yeah, I
make
mean, it's
this.
an almost perfect replica.
the
Uh,
last
button-
time I saw a
Right.
controller that had Tata on it was that PlayStation controller that was molded like Lara Croft.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it'd be nice to have a Genesis controller and Saturn controllers, and Saturn controllers great. So
Yeah.
But
A lot of stuff here.
but is it who's doing it? Retrobit?
Retrobit. Yeah.
I've heard not but bad things about Retrobit.
really,
Mm-hmm. I've heard that they are not great. They're existing controllers that are out on the market. I've read a lot of bad reviews,
really,
a lot of
Hmm,
negative things
interesting.
about them. So
way to bring the whole show down, Phil.
well, it's not my fault.
Well, you never know. They
it's
might
not your
have.
fault.
They might get better. I mean, Mad Catz started out, as crap, and then they got better, and then they went out of business, and now they're back. So,
No, I don't know. I'm just I
I will say though, it's as exciting as it is to have replica Sega controller hardware.
Mhm.
Boy, I really just want replica Sega console hardware.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Because wow, have my disc-based Sega systems been just dying like crazy over the last
Ooh.
3 months.
Mhm.
So
Oh no.
I don't want to have to pay to fix that stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah. But what are you gonna do?
What can you do?
You
Really?
can emulate,
Yeah.
which I don't really want to
It's
do
not-
because I've got a
not
fairly
quite the same.
sizable Saturn and Sega CD collection.
Yeah, and that original Sega CD with the slide out tray.
Oh, just still one of
It's
my
just
favorite pieces of
beautiful.
hardware ever.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
So pretty. So
Mhm.
anyway, yeah. But yeah, I guess this is cool too.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you've heard,
It
but
was a non-starter.
Hyperkin.
Speaking
some
of
announcements.
bad controllers,
Crappy hardware.
In fact, they're bringing the Duke controller. That's right, the original Xbox controller back for current consoles, Xbox One and PC. It'll
I
cost
love
you
the Duke.
$70.
I love the Duke. I would definitely think about buying that.
I did not hate the Duke the way most people seem to. The black
I don't
and
know
white
if
ones
It was just big.
It was big, and I don't know if it's that I'm just associating really, really fond memories of playing Halo with everyone.
that's
with that
probably
controller.
it.
Probably it.
That's the only thing I would want that controller for, is to play classic Halo. Because
Mhm.
Yeah.
played hundreds of hours of Halo using that controller, but I have no other fond memory of it outside of that. The S controller was so much better.
See,
Definitely.
that's where I would disagree, though, in that the S always felt like it was just too small for my big meaty hands. I really did like having something weightier that
Even
fit
like
my
you
entire
can really grab onto.
Mhm.
And you can use it as an anchor, Yeah.
Hmm.
I was able to grab it and just like swing it around and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grappling
Girth.
hook style.
some heft.
This is
Though, to be
grappling
fair, the S was easier for one-handed play for like Dead or Alive 3 and stuff like that.
Yikes.
hook. No.
Ethan enjoys masturbating while he plays video games.
Well.
No, for like having popcorn and stuff while I'm playing. What? Give me a
Of course.
break. Yeah.
Of course.
Ethan enjoys masturbating into popcorn.
Man, I'm sitting 3 seats away at the next time we go to a movie.
Yikes. Well, this new reimagined Duke has an OLED screen in the center where
Why?
the Xbox Jewel was, and all it does is it recreates the original Xbox startup animation.
That seems gratuitous.
Well, and also
It does.
kind of beyond the point, because I would like to have it be exactly the way it used to be. That's the point of the nostalgia, right?
Well, I mean, the controller itself will be the same. They just changed the Jewel so that it has this little screen on it.
Functionality.
Yeah,
that's not so cool. I like
Seemed
the
gratuitous.
I like the idea that with the SNES Classic or the NES Classic that the controllers feel like the real deal and look like the real deal.
Oh yeah. And this one, since the original Duke only had 2 triggers on the back, the remade one has 2 smaller shoulder buttons on the top corners.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a nice addition.
CJ.
Yeah. What's that?
Supposed to give us a trigger warning before you talk about that sort of thing.
About triggers?
You.
Look at that. Phil's trying to be cute on the podcast.
I
It's his
can't help but be
birthday.
cute on the podcast. Look at this. Look at this glorious mug.
I don't know. Well, anyway.
So I just want to throw it out here. I don't know why it made me think of this because we were talking about the original Xbox, and I remember seeing this article a while back, but it's pretty old. But I actually thought it was really interesting. Is that the remember the original Xbox dashboard? If you sat there and listened to it long enough, you could hear whispering and
little things. Yeah.
speaking going on. Do you know what that was?
No.
They were radio audio from the Apollo missions.
Really?
Modified audio of the radio communication in the Apollo missions.
That's pretty cool.
That was really neat. That has nothing to do with anything, but I always I saw that article pop up. I think it was last year, and it's just like, yeah, I always did wonder what those were because it's really weird sitting there and listening to somebody speaking, and anyway,
it's kind of cool to know what it is. At the same time, the mystery of it was kind of cooler. Like I always would like to think maybe it's like someone recorded Jay Allard, talking in his sleep or something like that.
That is creepy as hell. There's something else to
that. Then
yes.
Okay.
There was something to do with the GameCube dashboard audio. There was some cool story behind that too. I think it was like a really slowed down version of the Famicom disk system startup.
Oh, really?
Something like that?
Oh,
yeah. I have to go look that one up. But yeah. Anyway, love stuff like
You're
that.
just spreading urban legends now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, Greg's uncle works for Nintendo, so he
True.
knows.
Yep. I've
So
got a
he'll
girlfriend in Canada.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Well, you might be able to use that reformatted Duke to play PUBG, and Microsoft says they have got over 3 million users playing
Okay.
on the Xbox One.
It's not surprising.
No.
It's upsetting, but it's not surprising.
Well, apparently they've put out patches since we last played.
But here
So maybe we should
again
play
is the
again.
challenge. We should
Probably
play
not.
again. I think we should, but I haven't, and that's the issue. I still, because I had that bad first experience on Xbox, have not come back to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
That
with
is
that.
the problem. That is the problem with a terrible first impression.
Yeah, it's true. Speaking of first impressions, Sea of Thieves, which comes out in March, they are having a closed beta that starts on January 24th. And you'll get access to this if you have pre-purchased the video game.
I think I've pre-purchased the video game, but I'm not 100% sure.
Did you pre-purchase a physical copy or digital?
I think I did it through Amazon.
I'm not sure if you have to do it digitally to get into the closed beta, but I did that, and so I'll be playing the closed beta on January 24th, and I'll be looking for people to play with. So
Did you already get your
Ladies?
did I already get my what?
invitation?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I haven't gotten one, so and then it's definitely not happening. Well, I
So-
don't know. I don't check my email for days, so
I'll be playing some of that if you're on Xbox, and if you're going to be playing Sea of Thieves, hit me up. I'm super pack.
I'm
I'm super pack everywhere.
I'm really interested in that one. I'm hoping that it's great because what a cool story for Rare to come back as like a meaningful developer that's not just doing Connect and Avatar stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I think for a long time after they announced Sea of Thieves, my big question was, what the hell do you do in this game? And finally in December, they did a video about the progression system and exactly what the point of the game is, and it looks pretty interesting. It's basically like Destiny, but pirates, and you can sail around in a ship either by yourself or with a crew. And they've done some live streams after that point that I watched, and it really looks good. It looks like my type of game, so I'm gonna check it out
because it's got pirates in it, and you're on the ocean.
It's got pirates in it. I love pirates.
I love the art style
game.
and
yeah, it looks great.
It does. And also, I think we're all rooting for Microsoft to have something more great first-party stuff.
To have some great exclusives again, please.
Yeah.
Any word? Xbox, yeah.
Any word on any difference between Xbox One X and Xbox One in terms of performance or anything like that?
I'm sure there will be, but
I'm sure there will be a difference. I have no idea what that is. I tend to not want to look at that stuff because I don't want to be tempted to buy another console and a 4K television. So I'll just be turning a blind eye to that. Give me an eye patch so I can just put that on and play pirate. Anyway, Microsoft is also rumored to be doing a new career system. So this is in addition to achievements. They're sort of fixing that stuff up. I'll link to the article on it off of, I think it's Windows Central. Yeah, the did a story on it. And they're going to have more like reputation style things. And the most interesting part is you can level up by playing, all of your games, and you gain loot boxes, loot boxes that'll give you items for your avatar. And
they're quests also.
Yeah, they don't say if loot boxes will be paid. It sounds like it'll just be a reward type of thing.
Doesn't sound like it will be based on the article.
It'll just be a reward type of thing for your avatar. So this is pretty cool. And I mean, they've already, if you look in the player profile on Xbox, they have improved that quite a bit and included stuff like playtime and
so I guess that's another
aren't achievements that are tracked there.
It's another example of like I'm so past caring about my Xbox avatar that I don't think I've ever visited that area on my Xbox One.
Me neither. No.
I think I will now based on this, but
360 I did.
That stuff is interesting for sure. I don't know if it's enough for me to regularly come back to the Xbox, but therein it lies the other thing is I've gotten out of the habit of using my Xbox. I think, again, a great game can totally turn that around. I imagine, Stuart, you suddenly played a lot more Xbox than you had been with Forza.
Yeah, absolutely. But you're right. Up until that, I wasn't playing a whole lot of Xbox.
Yeah.
Mine gets used because that's where Minecraft is in my house. Minecraft is on the Xbox.
Sure.
Just because that's where we bought it. And my son and my oldest daughter both really love Minecraft. So it still gets a lot of use, but not by me, except for Forza.
Yeah. Well, and I was very, very tempted these past couple weeks to pick up an Xbox One X just because I have had some things going on in my life that I wanted to celebrate. But the thing is I just couldn't pull the trigger because I looked at it and said, okay, well, this looks really cool, but not only do I not have a 4K TV, but I have like 4 games stacked up on PS4 that I also haven't gotten to because I just, my play styles have changed a lot.
And does what is available on the one that you can't get on PS4 or Switch, is it worth the price?
Right.
Yeah.
You? And right now that's a tough sell.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Like the Avatar thing would be, I watched the video in the article that you linked, CJ, and the teaser that they have for the avatars, they do look way more interesting.
Oh yeah, they look much better than the 360.
Some cool stuff in there too, like the different themes and like the different vehicles, and the ability to have your avatar in a wheelchair, which is really nice. It looks way more interesting, but they need to be used for something. Like that's what I want to hear. Like back, I want to say, were the avatars used in 1 versus 100?
Yes.
See, like that was great.
Yeah.
Like I'd like something
100.
Yeah. You do something that I can use this avatar with. I mean, that's how Nintendo got the Miis so right. It wasn't just that the Miis existed; it's that they were integrated into a lot of things. And
although now,
really did that with their avatars.
I mean, Miis are on the Switch. You don't really use them for anything.
No, you don't anymore. They've abandoned them too at this point. It seems,
Mario Kart, and you can pose them for your profile picture.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah, at least for now.
But I mean, the other thing they were saying in that article too is that they want to make sure that they reward. They're looking at like esports players. They actually called out.
Yeah.
We're saying that, if somebody, but just people in general who get into really heavy into a game, that, the fact that you've unlocked all, 1,000 gamer score doesn't really reflect that you spent like 500 hours playing this game. So they want to be able to reward players who are doing that rather than spreading their time across multiple games.
Yeah.
Which is what the old system was set up to do.
Yeah. And I think this is a huge step in the right direction. I wish that Sony would revamp trophies as well, or that Nintendo would bring back the usage stats instead of what they have now. But this will be interesting to watch, and who knows, maybe the avatars will be used in Crackdown 3 or something like that.
Probably not.
Nice.
But yeah,
probably not.
No.
Yeah.
God, I missed 1 versus 100. That was a good time.
Yeah. Now, have you heard of HQ on mobile?
I was about to say the same thing.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody basically took the 1 versus 100 model and is doing it on mobile.
Nice. I have to check that out.
To quite a bit of success. All right. Did I hear Ethan start roboting?
He did a little bit.
I hope I'm not roboting.
He is still roboting.
Oh, you are.
It sounds like you have to unplug and replug your mic.
Okay, let me do that.
Nothing could possibly go wrong with that.
Nothing at all. You gotta unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay.
You're good. Yep, and you're back.
Okay, but it looks like my Audacity froze.
No,
That'll happen.
Oh, boy.
should have stopped it first.
Okay.
There
So
we go.
yeah,
Is it back?
no, it stopped. It stopped. Audacity stopped. All right, so I'm going to export that, and can we clap again? Sorry about that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We can do. Yeah, no problem.
This is the worst birthday ever.
I don't know. I mean, anticipation.
What
Touche.
what episode is this again?
584.
584. Thank you.
So how you guys been?
Yeah.
Loving life?
I'm sick.
Who cares?
No, muffin.
I'm sick.
Get better. Be better. Be better.
Okay, I'll try.
Heal.
I feel like that's not how it works.
Take a healing potion.
Just you know what? How you need a positive attitude. That'll get you through it.
Yeah, that's
Mind over matter.
helpful. That's helpful.
Because otherwise, you're looking at a $5,000 hospital bill. So
Yep.
it's really up to you. Positive outlook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apple a day.
Okay,
Cheap
and I am
apples.
I'm recording and
McDonald's
good to go.
apple slice.
Let's
So,
do another clap.
another clap. Okay.
Ready?
The apple a day thing works, CJ. But
Sure
you have
does.
to
Look at how much Apple stuff I got.
but you
All
have
right.
to do it as a suppository.
I already took care of
That
that.
was really committed to that joke.
3, 2, 1. We're good. All right.
Yeah.
And did you see
Nope.
Assassin's Creed Rogue is getting a remaster? Assassin's Creed Rogue is the game that came out when we were getting what is it, Unity, I think, and it was on all the next gen
Yes.
consoles, and the last gen consoles got Assassin's Creed Rogue, which is a sort of sequel in the vein of Black Flag. It's very piratey again.
It is
and,
way
How many
better
guys?
than
How many
Unity.
times have you guys said you wanted this to happen?
Oh, it
I've
makes
been
so
saying
much
it for years.
Yes.
And now, of
Like-
course, it's missing one key thing, which I know CJ was about to bring up.
True. What is it?
It's not on Switch.
It's not on Switch.
Well, it's
And
kind
it's a
of
game-
new for a Switch game. Give it another 10 years.
It's a game that was on PS3, Xbox 360. It should be a no-brainer, right?
It should be a no-brainer. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
You're right.
I mean,
Although,
What year did it come out?
bastard, it came out in like 2013.
That's going by the latest Nintendo Direct Mini. I'd say that's a little bit new for a Switch game.
Wow. Words hurt, Greg. Words hurt.
All I'm saying,
It helps if you make the same joke twice in a row.
right? Yeah, just to be
that-
very clear. Yeah.
That keeps
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna make that joke at least 10 more times this episode. I've got notes.
Okay,
bet.
I will say, I'll say, bet you anything, it would have sold best on the Switch.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I mean, I'll take. You don't even have to remaster it, Ubisoft. Just port the 360 PS3 game, and I'll buy it on Switch.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean there's a rumor, right, that South Park: The Fractured But Whole is coming to Switch as well.
Cool.
Be great.
That would be fantastic. I'll buy whatever you got.
How did that game do?
Mhm.
It feels like it probably didn't do that great because it seems like it was discounted pretty quickly.
I mean,
don't
what
know.
game this year
Everything
wasn't
was.
discounted pretty quickly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Mario Odyssey,
Right.
Well,
Zelda,
not first person.
not counting Nintendo.
Mario Kart 8. Need I go on?
Yes, please.
Metroid,
Oh.
Splatoon.
So yeah, it's the
Arms.
remaster of Assassin's Creed Rogue is coming out on March 20th for PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay.
So first off, I played through it. It's awesome. It really is better than Unity, and it is just as much fun as Assassin's Creed 4, in my opinion, even though the hero is not as compelling as Kenway was. But I can't wait to play it again, but I am so confident that this is going to come to Switch that I am going to wait.
Me too. And also, there's a lot of stuff coming out at the same time. It's very easy to wait.
Yes.
So to wait either for a Switch announcement or for the game to be discounted to such a point where it doesn't even really matter. Right?
Yep.
All right. Shall we dig into the Nintendo Direct?
Yeah.
Because last week we were talking about how it was rumored it was happening, and then it did happen, but not without some expert trolling from Nintendo themselves the day before.
I still don't get Chibi-Robo on fire. I know that it was the thing that led everyone to think that it was going to be about Fire Emblem.
That's what they
That's
did.
what
That's what they did to the guy who decided to localize that thing and release it.
I thought it was a Dark Souls reference. Because
Really?
they or somebody posted later that there's a screen in Dark Souls where someone is being revived. There's some sun god or whatever. Anyway, I don't know if that's it or not. But anyway, on Wednesday we got that teaser image, and then nothing happened. There was no announcement of a Nintendo Direct, and then on Thursday, what was it at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, it just went up on Nintendo's YouTube channel. So it wasn't even live streamed, it was just a video that showed up.
Yes.
And it went up while I was driving to work, so I didn't see any spoilers or anything. And
Really hard to
instead,
watch while driving, but CJ did it.
it was difficult, yes. So instead I watched it when I got into work and turned off Twitter and didn't see any spoilers. Because I got to keep my Nintendo Directs fresh. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
There were some fun reveals there, though. I was pretty happy with what they rolled out.
Well, it was what everybody expected, right? It was a bunch of ports, more or less.
Yeah, mostly
ports and remakes and
DLC.
Some free updates for Mario Odyssey. The Luigi's Balloon World thing looks interesting.
Yeah, it looks like a speedrun thing.
Nah, you're gonna ignore it just like you did battle mode.
It doesn't
Mario
look
Kart.
interesting. Yeah,
You'll ignore it.
Oh yeah,
it
I'm sure I
like
will.
something.
I mean, I don't even bother with the Koopa races in Mario Odyssey. I'm not going to do this.
No.
So.
I want to jump, if you don't mind, to what was most exciting to me, which is a new Camelot Mario tennis game with RPG elements.
That was
No, wait. You said RPG elements, and I want to stop you there because I've seen this said a lot on Twitter, and they did not say the word RPG. I don't think they said story mode.
Story.
It's a.
They
I don't
said
know.
story
What
mode.
it is, stuff like
So-
that.
Reasonable.
I would not
Considering the
expect. I would not expect
Expect
RPG
your
elements unless you see screenshots where you are like leveling up or whatever. Like, I don't think it's like they're not turning it in.
I mean, if you
this
look at
isn't
something like,
tennis
say,
scoring.
you look at something like Mario Golf on the Game Boy Color, you weren't leveling up in that either. You were getting better clubs. If I remember
I know.
correctly, maybe I'm wrong about that.
But I mean, they said story mode, and I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, RPG, like golf story, blah blah blah."
I think it's
it's
splitting
like
hairs there. I think you're splitting hairs there. I think the exciting thing is maybe people are misusing the phrase RPG elements, but
yes,
I think the exciting thing is that there's a certain progression,
Right.
that's going to
and
be
the
inherent
people-
to that.
The people
Sure,
who are
I
making
would just
it is
say-
a big deal too.
I
Right.
would just say they said story elements, whatever. Like, let's
He's going to die on this hill.
keep
CJ is
expectations. Keep expectations in check.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well,
He's
I
got
think
the
you
bunker
can't
built.
help but keep expectations in check because the Wii U Mario tennis was garbage. It was
Mhm.
terrible, and it had no lasting value, and it was totally unbalanced. And so anything would be better than that. In fact, the bummer would have been if they had said, "Hey, we're updating that game." and bringing it over. No, this is a totally
Which,
new.
hey, let's be honest, there was an 80% chance that was going to happen too.
Mm.
I'd be more excited if it was Mario Golf by Camelot.
Yes, that I would agree with.
The time they did Mario Golf, it wasn't all that great.
No, I know, but I mean, I'm more excited about the idea of that than.
See, I'm more excited about tennis.
But I'm holding out hope.
I like me some Mario Tennis.
Yeah, I generally like the Mario sports games. They usually do a good job. They've had their downturns as well, but
Sure.
And the fact that there's a story mode, that got me excited. That was, to me, I agree with Ethan. That was the most excited I got in that Direct Mini.
Yeah.
And to me, that's an A grade game where I'm more excited about that than I would be like a new Animal Crossing. Just personally myself.
You're crazy on that. I would definitely trade Mario Tennis with adventure mode for Animal Crossing. Give me Animal Crossing. Give me that sweet Animal Crossing.
Oh, I want them both. I'm just saying, I have a different hierarchy.
Don't you pay enough bills? You've got a kid now. You got a house. Like, don't you pay enough bills already? Why do you need a bill-paying simulator?
I like Animal Crossing. What are you talking about? I do wonder if they're going to have motion control in this game. I would imagine that they will.
I guarantee they'll have motion control in this game.
And the other thing, it's 2018 now. Nintendo's online service is supposed to launch sometime in 2018. Which game are they going to have, as the sort of premiere release for that, right?
And will they
have to have something?
Dark Souls.
Will there be dedicated headphones for Mario Tennis that feel like shit and don't fit my head like Splatoon? We can only hope.
Well, to be fair, you had to buy those separately, and
your head is huge.
Those are terrible.
Let's be honest with each other.
Yeah,
as the other large cranium individual, your head is massive.
Those headphones were made for 15-year-olds, not 40-year-olds. Yes. I didn't buy those. Wasn't tempted. But yeah, maybe we'll see them improve their online service and their online app and all that stuff. Maybe with this game, I don't know. You would think they'd have to have something in line for that, right?
Well, I think the bigger issue there is Payday, because Payday is a game that requires a heavy amount of cooperation. That is, a kind of a cooperative tactics type of shooter. I don't see how you could comfortably play that game without any communication.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I wonder how that's going to turn out.
I can't imagine anyone wanting to play Payday 2 at this point.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
So, I've never played it. I have no idea.
Well, then you're clearly not in much of a mood to play it.
I was going to say, you've had 5 years to do it, so...
The footage is not impressive.
Yeah, because it's Payday 2.
Yeah, but I mean, even by Payday 2 standards, it doesn't look like a good version of Payday 2.
Payday 2 on a weaker console. Keep going.
Yeah.
But you know what does look impressive? Kirby Star Allies.
Yes.
I'm excited for this game. I think it looks
4-player cooperative.
4-player cooperative, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and finally say it, and I've tried this for years. Not into the Kirby games.
Really?
I've tried to be into them. Everybody loves them, and I've always
they're just really solid
something about these games, and they're good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't get excited about those games.
I like Kirby games.
Yeah, a lot of people do, and I know it's legit, but they're just not for me. I think I've finally come to the realization.
Too simplistic for you? Too baby?
I wouldn't even say that. I think it's just the mechanic. I don't like the mechanic. It doesn't do anything for me. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Are you more of a Donkey Kong Country man?
I am.
What'd you think of the announcement of Tropical Freeze for the Switch?
Oh, Tropical Freeze is good.
Tropical Freeze was great.
It's a good game. Yeah.
I have
you get Funky Kong.
Yeah, Funky Kong. I mean, whatever. It just looked like. I mean, he's the easy mode, right? I'm assuming.
That's right.
Like,
yeah.
Is that
Here's what's cool about Funky Kong though is that I wouldn't want to play. I'm planning to get the game. I wouldn't want to play as him.
Sentence never before uttered.
There's nothing. I'm interested to see where this goes.
Cool about Funky Kong.
The game is brutally difficult for somebody that is my son's age. There's no way in a million years he'd get through it. And what I like is, as I understand it, I can play multiplayer where I play as Donkey Kong and I get the same difficulty that I am used to, and he can play as Funky Kong and not constantly die by falling into pits and things like that. So we can both have a great experience playing together despite our very different skill sets. I think that's super fun.
And you can party like it's 2014.
Yeah, but the game, no one played it for the.
I played it.
Okay.
Well, it was on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Effectively, nobody played it.
Yeah. And
I know you're going to come at it with the new to me thing, but I still
it's new to you.
I still think it's worth calling out that sure. There were 15 games shown. There were 4 new games shown. Let's just
the same way about Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, where it's a fantastic game. A lot of people never played the version on Wii U, and they certainly should on the Switch because it's a great game.
I think it's cool that you get
a ton of content.
I like the Breath of the Wild Link and Zelda in there as well. That's pretty neat.
Hell yeah. I'll be buying this for a third time because I did buy it on 3DS.
Yeah, me too. I bought it on both.
Yeah, it's just a great game. Yeah. Ease 8. Lacrimosa of Dana.
Is it going to be the one that has the better? Have they released the patch for the better translation yet?
I haven't heard.
No, I don't.
But I would imagine this will have the better translation.
Yeah, because it doesn't come out till summer?
Yeah.
I would hope that that's the case then.
Yeah. It looks great though.
I've heard so much praise for that game.
This might be my second Ease game.
Yeah, I really want to play it. I heard so many people just praise that thing up and down.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to line up just because we'll talk about Xenoblade when we get to what you've been playing. But boy, this machine is nice for RPGs.
Truth. Yes. Well, and we also got the World Ends With You final remix announcement.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played it. Never played that game in my life.
11 years old.
I've never played it either. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
New to you.
New to me. Yes, indeed. We got some Pokken Tournament DLC announcements too. That sounds cool for sure.
Another new game.
No, that's an already released game.
I know.
DLC. Donkey Kong Country Tropic or not Tropic
Rabbits.
Mario and Rabbids. Donkey Kong DLC.
Yeah, Donkey Kong's in there. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. More content for that. I'm all for it. SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy looks great.
Looks interesting, yeah.
I remember when that game was called Gals Fighters on the Pocket Color. So that's a
great game.
Another contemporary game.
That's a great game too.
Now we're getting Neo Geo Pocket Color ports.
That's coming out on PS4 as well.
Yeah. Along with a whole bunch of new games.
One of my biggest guilty secrets as a gamer is that I have never played the original Dark Souls. I played Demon Souls. I played Dark Souls 3. I never played Dark Souls 1 or 2. And so I'm pretty excited to check that out. I remember up until it was replaced by Breath of the Wild, Dark Souls 1 was Edge Magazine's top video game of all time in their top 100 list.
Yeah.
So I've been really wanting to have a chance to go back and play it, and this seems like the best way for me to do it without getting too frustrated, because playing Dark Souls 3 on Xbox One I thought was beautiful and challenging, but too challenging, and I just fell off of it about 4 or 5 hours in because I got tired of doing the same thing over and over again.
Why do you think this is going to be different?
Because I can
because
take it with me and do it everywhere. No, it does. It makes a fundamental difference because
I don't get that. I don't get that line of reasoning at all. I really do want to understand this.
I can absolutely try to illustrate. So, with Xenoblade, I've just hit the 68-hour mark, and I got it for Christmas.
You're catching up to me.
Yeah, well, that's because I can grind and I can just sit back and sniff the roses, so to speak. I can do all the little things that I would never make time for playing a game when I have only an hour a night to play. So with Dark Souls, I have the time and patience to just say, when I have 15, 20 minutes, let me try something slightly different, and can iterate on my play experience in a way that I just don't have the time for and haven't since college on television.
I totally agree.
Because I guess the reason why I was confused is because when you described Dark Souls, you said you tried it before, but it was basically what you said was too hard.
Yeah, well, I didn't have the patience.
Your explanation didn't really. Now I understand. You're
Well,
saying,
not only do you not have the
if you
patience
had
for
time to
it,
go back and try it more frequently,
it's not. Yeah, it's not only not having the patience for it. It's
I am
having
talking
to
to
wait.
No, sorry.
Not only not having the patience for it, it's having to wait until the TV is free or whatever to have the time to try again, right? And
Yes.
Well, yeah, I get that now. It's just not what you said at first.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, and I've actually had experience with this with tough games. The first time I ever beat Ninja Gaiden Sigma was on Vita because of the very same thing. I could just sit and try over and over and over again during lunch.
There you go. Yeah.
But what about food? Don't you eat during lunch?
Well, sure. That takes 20 of the 60 minutes you get for lunch.
Man, learn to savor your food. Jeez.
Also, part of the direct here is that EA title Faye.
Yeah, that looks nice.
interesting.
Looks very interesting. Yes, that's the title
That's right
that
on
sparked
the
all the rumors about the Nintendo Direct, because of the marketing email back in December, and then Celeste from Matt Thorson. It comes out on January 25th, and this game
also
looks
looks
great.
really cool.
I've heard nothing but great things about Celeste.
Yeah, I'm excited for both of those.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you, I gotta say,
go ahead.
I was disappointed about this, and in all honesty, the reason why is because, and I talked about this at the end of last year. I think Nintendo made the right moves last year. I understood why they were doing what they did, where had a couple of new games, had a lot of remakes. They spaced all that out. From this direct, I think they've got a really solid lineup between now and the end of the first half of the year.
Sure.
I should say until like May or June. But it kind of, I feel like they're just doing what they've been doing for the past 11 months. And I kind of hope that they would have ramped it up a little bit.
What do you mean?
More new games.
What do you mean by
new games? I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, this is only first half of the year, though.
That's what I'm getting at. Is that I want new.
Well, Star Allies, Kirby Star Allies is new.
Yeah. Okay.
Mario Tennis is new.
I would submit.
We have a new Fire Emblem coming soon, and that Yoshi game.
Yeah, but
and
that's
all of
not
this is
on this. But anyway, yeah.
All of this is more than what you saw, if I can remember correctly, from either Sony or Microsoft in their first.
But I'm not comparing them to Sony and Microsoft. I'm talking about Nintendo.
No, I know, but we're talking about the launch of a new system.
I wanted to see something, but it's no. Okay, no.
This is similar, though.
I'm talking about we're into the second year now.
I understand what you're saying, Greg, but I would say that in the second year of PS4 and Xbox One, we did see a lot of remasters and older titles come up.
Yeah,
also.
It was terrible then too.
Yeah. Okay,
and I blasted those companies back then as well. But I'm disappointed that this is still happening.
I just remember back in the equivalent time, I was getting excited about playing Last of Us Remastered.
Okay, and back in the equivalent time, I was disappointed that what I had to look for was a remaster of a game I played last year. I mean, we're literally saying the same thing. I'm just saying that I'm disappointed that I was disappointed in this, and that there was like one or two things to really excited about, and otherwise it's business as usual, just a bunch of remakes. And to be fair, remakes of games that are much older than the remakes that were happening.
Here's the other thing I would say.
Generation.
This was a Nintendo Direct Mini. Okay, which I think.
Yeah, I hope that they've got something bigger up their sleeves.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I think also that kind of tells you what the importance of this presentation was for Nintendo, right?
We hope
that it's like we know it's a bunch of remasters and ports, and we'll kind of put some of those things together, and we've got something hopefully more substantial coming later. But honestly, I think that we are going to see,
and I know this was also
a lot of
them
ports
getting ready for E3 too.
We're going to see a lot of ports and remakes on Switch in 2018, right? And not just
the problem,
not just from Nintendo, but we're going to see it from other publishers as well, because if they're scrambling to add Switch to their projects, it's going to be a lot easier for them to justify ports and remakes over brand new titles for the time being.
Anyway, I just wanted to throw it out there, and I know that it's I'm the one saying it, and that's kind of my role in the show. But just saying that it was exciting. I was excited about, hey, 15 games are going to show, and then it's like, oh well, yeah, okay.
Well, I think E3 is going to be a bellwether, I think, not only for what we're going to see at the end of the year from first party, but also I really think we're going to see some nice surprises from third party. Laura Kate Dale from Kotaku recently said on Twitter that her understanding, for instance, is that Ubisoft wants to have the next Assassin's Creed game come out at the same time across all platforms, including Switch, which is very interesting if that happens.
Awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would imagine you're going to see Activision do a Call of Duty. I think you'll see, albeit graphically stripped down, versions of a lot of games that you would be surprised to see day and date by the end of the year. And that's third party, and that will be exciting.
Here's my question with that. So we got Doom, Rocket League, we're getting Wolfenstein 2, and I think those ports have been great. Skyrim obviously is great.
Mm-hmm.
But we also had that WWE game that came out that is apparently very bad on the Switch.
I didn't even buy it.
I am wondering what level third parties are going to take when approaching the Switch, right? Because I think we all, or at least Ethan and I, want a lot of Switch games, but you don't want them to be...
I want a lot of Switch games too. Don't get me wrong.
You don't want them to be crappy ports, right? You want them to be good.
Well, that was what I was going to say, is because when you're like, what Ethan's saying is absolutely true. Hearing things like day and date, third party, big releases, that's awesome. But then I think the second half of what you said could be a big problem, which is, albeit graphically stripped down versions. You know what you just described was the Wii.
No, I don't think it's
you did. Now I'm not saying that it'll definitely be as bad as that, but that was exactly what was happening on the Wii.
No, I'm going to counter that, because what was happening on the Wii was that they were releasing games with the same title that were fundamentally different games. So when they were releasing, a Call of Duty game simultaneously, the Wii version was not the same game. It was not the same developer. It was not a stripped down version of what you got on 360 or PS3. It was a totally different game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I worked on some of those things with Marvel, where like if we did Thor for PS3 and Xbox 360, that was a totally different team than the one that was doing the Wii version.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this I think we're just going to see, the stripped down version of the same game, hopefully. Which again, I would take that over 4K just given the way I play. But I think it's smart to give players that choice, because I know there's tons of people who would much rather have the 4K experience and have it, on their television.
Right.
Indeed. And I think for those people, they'll buy the PS4 version or whatever. And then for people who value portability over technical performance, we'll get the Switch version, and that'll be fine. If South Park comes out on Switch, I will totally buy that.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then the day after, we got a little more Nintendo news, because Detective Pikachu's coming to the US in March. And let me tell you, that trailer with that dub is fantastic. It's absolutely good.
Clarify this for me. What platform is this on?
3DS.
Okay.
Yes, comes out on 3DS March 23rd, and there is a Detective Pikachu amiibo, and this thing is huge.
Yeah, I saw the amiibo.
It's like large. 2.5 times the size of a regular Pikachu.
Large
amiibo. It's
cool.
It's big.
Yep.
But this looks great.
Yep.
And it's coming out on 3DS. Unfortunately, I'm not really a 3DS player anymore.
So this will make you one.
This might bring me back.
Perfect time.
I think it'll bring you back.
I think it will bring me back. You're right. You're right. Because it looks so good.
Not to brag, but I knew that game was coming out like before they announced it.
I'm sure you did.
Not to brag.
Can I ask the chat? Is it not normal for people in the US to leave their blinds up? Is that people in the chat are talking about it? How in Canada everyone leaves their blinds up? Like
waiting for a murderous clown to poke their head into your window.
Is that not normal?
I usually,
I'm not judging.
I close my blinds at night.
I do close my blinds.
I mean, I close them when I go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you in a 1-story house? Are you in a 2-story house?
I'm in a 4-story house.
In a 4-story. What floor are you on?
I'm on the 3rd floor, but but the house is on a hill, so
okay.
The main entrance is right there, which is why every now and then you see my kids walk by this window.
Like someone could walk by and look in the window, is what you're saying.
That's happened multiple times on the show.
Yes,
indeed,
that's true. Yeah, close your blinds. You look like
close them.
No,
Close them.
I gotta be me.
You know what? Open the window then.
You know what? You guys get
let
excited
some
about
breeze.
7-year-old ports to the Switch. I'm leaving my blind open. That's my thing. It's my thing.
That's my thing that I do. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, should we talk about what we've been playing? Because
Yeah.
I think it's about time to do that. Let's start with Phil.
I haven't been playing much this week again.
Yeah?
I finished up Picross E8.
I gotta get that.
Except for the Mega Picross puzzles, because Mega Picross, I don't know if you knew this, is garbage.
I don't count Mega Picross as part of finishing those games anymore. Picross S, I consider that I have finished Picross S because I finished all the real Picross puzzles. In
Yeah,
Picross
I
S.
actually that's my thing. I finished up Picross E8 and then realized I had not finished Picross S. So I'm
Yes, you have.
No, I
thought
haven't.
you meant you hadn't done the Mega
No.
Picross.
I have not. Not even discounting the terrible Mega Picross puzzles. I have not finished Picross S. So I'm back doing that. You know what my problem is?
No.
I've been watching too much TV. I have not had time to play games. I've
Too
been
much television.
I've been
You know, if you're
what?
playing on the Switch, you don't have to wait for the TV to be free. I'm
but,
told.
but I'm watching the TV though.
But
I'm
there's
enjoying
that,
the programming.
there's that quick moment when the screen goes to black before
Yeah.
a commercial starts.
Oh
You
yeah,
can be
that's
playing for it.
that's
he does
valid.
it.
That's valid gaming experience time.
Yes.
No, I've been
It can be.
oh jeez.
Sad
I've
part
been-
is he's not.
I've been spending time with my wife, and we've been
There's
watching
your other
television. That's my other problem. We've been watching. I've been watching.
I got a solution for that. If you
what-
need, if
what's
you
that?
need some advice,
we laugh, but we don't
And then
cry. There we go. Yeah. No, I've been watching. The wife has been showing me Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which I had not seen before.
Hmm.
Oh,
Is it
okay.
you've never seen it, really? Wow,
No, I completely passed by it.
it's a good time, especially
It's
in the
fantastic.
later seasons. The later seasons
really
get really good on that show.
We just started season 4, and it's like it's really getting good now. So yeah, that might be my favorite Star Trek.
Huh.
So
That's
it's a good
fine.
show. So I've been watching that, and I have been I've been considering diving back into a game. I'm waffling between Breath of the Wild and Yakuza 0.
Both solid choices.
Yes.
As games from last year that I need to go back and finish. So
Yeah.
I don't know which way I'm leaning. It tips
Breath of
back
the
and
Wild.
forth.
Breath of the Wild.
I don't
I'd
know,
say
man.
You should really finish Breath of the Wild.
You should.
I
Yeah.
probably should.
That's
but,
going to
I mean,
be like years from now. You'll be looking back, and that's going to be one of the games that defines this generation. It defines the Switch.
You know
And
what,
actually,
though? What's
I was
that,
just-
Ethan?
I was just saying that I was explaining to my daughter that taking a break actually happened for me with Ocarina of Time. I remember when that came out, and that is still in my top 3 of all time. But I got about 2/3 of the way through that game, and then Turok 2 came out, which I was excited to play with all my friends.
with you?
No, 4-player multiplayer. It was like post GoldenEye. We were looking for a new shooter, and I ended up putting down Zelda Ocarina of Time and didn't pick it up again for another year and a half. And then finally finished it and loved it. But I am glad certainly that I took the time to finish it. And I think, provided you do actually get to the end, all is well. But I think you would really regret not finishing that game ever.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would.
I agree with the last part of what Ethan said.
I don't know if I would regret not finishing it. You want to know a little something about me?
You never finished a Zelda game?
Well, no, that's not true. I finished I finished Link to the Past several times because I played through.
Is that the only one?
I played the good ones. No, I finished I finished Zelda 1. I finished Zelda 2.
That's a good
I
one.
finished Link to the Past. I finished.
Okay.
That's the best one.
What's it called? The sequel to Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
Great one.
Oh, you never finished the 3D ones then?
I finished Link's Awakening.
Okay.
I finished. I think all the portable ones,
I've never finished Link's Awakening.
but I've never. Oh, that's a good game. Never
it is.
finished Ocarina of Time. Never finished Majora's Mask.
Okay.
I've never finished Majora's Mask either.
No.
I can't get into that one. Love
No.
the idea. Doesn't work for me.
Really? Dana loves Majora's Mask. She's
A lot of people
played
do.
through that one multiple
Yeah,
times.
A lot of people swear by that game, and I can
But,
see why. But
yeah. But I mean, I do want to play Breath of the Wild, but Yakuza's more my bag, you know?
Yakuza's very, very good. It's really good storytelling.
Maybe I'll
Great
bounce back and
characters.
forth between them to the point where I start getting them confused. And then they'll mesh into one.
You chased CJ right off the show.
Well, you know what? CJ...
I would say...
Talk about CJ for a minute.
Yeah, he's not here. What do you want to talk about?
Boy,
Wait
is
a
this
second, I'm
guy
back.
a bore or what?
Crap.
Hey,
Hey,
welcome
CJ,
back.
you should have heard what Ethan was saying about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Are you wearing a Rick and Morty shirt? Are you
Are
plugging your own
Were you
show?
crying?
Was I crying? No, I'm sick. I told you. Wiping my
Switch
nose.
talk. Me too, brother. Me too.
Wiping my nose.
Oh.
No, my daughter wanted to know how to put Dora on the TV.
Oh.
Just give her some crayons. Point at the screen.
There you go.
Dora the Explorer.
That's the one.
Solid show.
All right. else
You know what
you
else? What else I've been eating lately is this delicious new amiibo. Look at that. I got a box of if you're not watching this on the YouTube, I got a box of Super Mario cereal that right before our show, before we started recording, Ethan himself was lamenting the fact that he can't find it anywhere.
That's right.
But Ethan, let me you want some advice?
Don't
On how
buy
you
it.
here's some advice on how you can find it. I'll send you a link to my eBay. And because you're a friend, I'll ship it for
Send you
free.
the half-eaten box.
No, I'll ship it for free. I mean, you'll still have to pay the $65 premium for the box, but I will ship that to you gratis, my
That
friend.
is so generous of you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I found it
By
at Target. I found it at Target where you yourself was looking.
Yep.
Although you want to know what a nerd I am, I went into Target. I had the their stock number.
Oh yeah.
DPCI. I don't know if that's
never understand you people.
if that's a standard retailer term or if that's just a Target term, but that's their internal sorting number for it. And I went up to a helpful customer service representative at Target and said, "Hey, you have a little machine that tells you what you have in stock. I have a little number here. Why don't we get together?
Why don't you skedaddle and check this out?
Why don't we make some magic here, you and I?" And yeah, he typed it in and said, "Oh, you know what? I have 3 boxes. I happen to have 3 boxes in the back."
Perfect.
So what does the amiibo functionality do with it?
Well, well, here I can show you right here on the back of the box.
Nothing good.
There's the amiibo right there. That's this little chunk right here is the actual. That's where the sensor chip is.
Yeah, and for those listening, it's an image that says "Scan here" with the amiibo label
Yes.
on the corner of the box.
Yes, on the back it
Yes.
says here,
Really paint the picture.
Super Mario Odyssey. Every Super Mario cereal box is an amiibo you can use to unlock special content to power up your Super Mario Odyssey adventure. From what I understand, it just gives you like a couple coins.
Oh, you haven't tried it yet.
Or
You know,
I haven't tried it on Mario Odyssey yet. When I had my Switch out the other day, I had Pokken Tournament DX available
There you
now
go.
in stores, and I used it. I scanned it on that because in Pokken, if you can scan any amiibo and it just gives you in-game currency or like titles or avatar goodies and things like that. So it gave me a little
it's like a little loot box.
yeah.
You know, remember earlier before we started the show, we were talking about how the Ice Cream Social the last couple of weeks has just been killing it. And
Yes.
you said you were a little bit behind. You hadn't heard how
Yeah,
good they've been.
Right.
Take the last 5 minutes of this show, the complete opposite of that.
Okay. That's probably pretty good.
It's really good.
Jeez, those guys are funny and interesting.
And interesting. That's kind of my point. Yeah.
If you'd like, I could eat some of this live on the air. If you
I don't
want,
think that's necessary.
you
I
want
don't
some lip smacking.
Hey,
Greg.
I would love it. I would love it though if they were Switch cartridge flavored cereal.
Oh,
That
God,
would be
no.
pretty cool, actually.
Greg, save us.
Uh,
What have you been playing?
I downloaded
this better be interesting now.
the DLC
Yeah.
for Breath of the
Tell
Wild.
us about all your waifus. What? Breath of the
I
Wild.
downloaded the DLC
Breath
for
of-
Breath of the Wild.
Okay,
And
that's hardly new.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's new for the Switch.
New for you.
And I'm getting that thing where you get, especially I find anyway, in a lot of open world games, and now that the sense of discovery is kind of gone. I haven't gone and done the two main quests. I'm trying to get some of the gear that you unlock by downloading this.
Yeah.
Which are all little like mini quests, and one of them is to get back into the castle and get 3 different chests. Boy, there was a lot of adult language happening. Because
your
there's
part.
like, yeah, because
Not
the
on the game.
motivation. I've seen the castle now, and I've completed the game once, and so that sort of sense of wonder and discovery is gone, and now I just want to get to these places and get these things, and I was just really getting frustrated with it. So I don't know if I'm going to go after those pieces, but
No one wants to hear
Anyway.
about this. Everyone wants to hear about your waifus.
I did. I did get the ancient armor for my horse, though.
Cool.
That's kind of nice. Being
Okay.
able to whistle for the horse anywhere in the world is
That's nice.
definitely huge.
Hmm.
Yeah, big deal. Big league. Big league.
Well, you'll be even happier when you get the
huge deal.
motorcycle.
Yeah, but isn't that after you completed everything?
Yeah.
Screw that. I'm not turning on again after I complete everything.
All right.
It's stupid. It's useless. We unlock it right away.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went back and played Doki Doki Literature Club.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Spanktastic.
So I've heard the first hour is like almost punishing. It's so unpleasant, and then it really
is.
opens up and becomes clever and fun.
I wouldn't call it clever and fun.
Disturbing.
Really disturbing.
Hmm.
Really, yeah. I don't know how to describe this without giving away absolutely everything interesting about it. So last week when I had played it and I was saying how I couldn't believe I was playing this, it's not my type of game ever, and I was getting a lot of I think deserved ribbing about who my waifu was.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to go look up what a waifu was. I had literally stopped playing right when the game gets completely batshit insane.
Mhm.
And all I can say is all 3 of you should go play this.
Really?
Okay.
Yep.
I've heard.
Don't read anything about it, because as soon
I've
as you know
already-
even a little bit, okay, Ethan shouldn't play it. As soon as you know a little bit, it's ruined.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ethan, you spoiled it, Ethan?
not intentionally. I
No,
don't remember
it's-
if it was DLC or Jimquisition, but one of the podcasts I listened to spoiled it.
It's easy to get spoiled. Don't read anything about it and go experience it. Honestly, like you have to. It's about 4 hours.
Okay.
It's free.
Yeah.
Go experience it. That's all I can say. I don't want to say any more because it will ruin it if I say any more.
In fact,
Go
I was
do it,
about
and then
to
let's
say
talk about
something that I'm glad I didn't say.
Yes. Go do it, and then let's talk about it. Put everything else on hold. Play it for 4 hours. Let's talk about it in the coming
Really?
weeks. Yes. That's all I can say about it. That's all I want to say about it.
Okay.
I want to say a lot more about it. Though I want to say about it to people who haven't played it yet.
I need to play Edith Finch.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
I
That's
need
only
to-
about 2 hours.
That's what I need to play.
Play it
Is
right
that-
after you play Doki Doki
Is
Literature
that
Club.
is Edith Finch cute anime?
Yes.
Okay.
Looking up right now, Edith Finch Switch to see if I'm going to end up playing it.
Oh,
I hate you.
I did actually look it up, but
Oh, I know you did.
but I'm giving you shit. No, I'm wanting to play that on PS4 or whatever it's on sometime soon.
Yeah, you should. It's really good. That's really all I've been playing this week.
That's it?
Just getting mind fucked by Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay. Well then, Ethan, what do you got?
So, as I said earlier in the show, I've been pumping a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time, into Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It remains a game that on so many levels is just sloppy, and it feels rushed, and it has confusing navigation, and submenus that are hard to navigate and missions that don't tell you that you can only get halfway through them and then you have to play much later in the game to be able to continue them. All sorts of irritations and frustrations, and yet the battle system is super, super fun to me. That's something that I've really been enjoying. Have we lost CJ or is he there?
No, he's hacking up a lung. Keep going.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
He's bored of you too.
Battle system is great.
Yeah.
The leveling is something that allows you to pull so many switches and levers that what starts out as very confusing becomes really satisfying, as you can optimize your team to do anything from be particularly skilled at fighting with greater accuracy during the daytime to being better at fighting insects and changing those types of things on the fly. Collecting all of your blades is really, really fun. And the story is interesting. And the characters I really love and have been enjoying watching their journey. It's a game that, on the one hand, I don't think would make my top 5 of 2017, even as I put this much time into it, because it's so messy. But the things that I love, I really love about it. And I think what's best of all is that, unlike CJ, who I believe, CJ, you've kind of blown past a lot of the submissions, and they are repetitive, and it's a lot of kind of fetch questy stuff. But there's something to me, and maybe it's just a psychological thing where I love to check things off of a list. I really like getting to a certain point where I just start knocking all of those out, get the rewards, try to figure out what each of the rewards do meaningfully for the characters. And this has put me in a position too, where as I'm going through the main quest, I just finished chapter 5 and I'm almost 70 hours in. So I'm pretty overpowered right now relative to where you would typically be in the story. So I'm reading, about other people having a really hard time with certain bosses that are a breeze for me right now. But I'm okay with that too. I just, I like being able to sometimes come and optimize a character, sometimes get a couple missions done, and sometimes, if I'm feeling ambitious, get some story stuff done. And just, it's such a complete experience that I have found little time for anything else.
Yeah. I'm at the point now, I'm in chapter 8, and I'm getting towards enemies that are way more difficult that I can deal with. So I may end up going back to my side quests and checking a bunch of those off. I will say, I mean, I love the story. I love the characters. It is getting a little bit long in the tooth for me now at this point in the game. It's a fine game. I love the combat system. I don't love opening new blades as much because it's a long process that you can't skip.
And I've been getting some weird loading times sometimes with that too.
Yeah, it's not great. But I love the combat so much, and the visuals just in the environments are always fantastic. And I like the story, so I'm trying to stick with it. I'm getting towards the end now. There are only 10 chapters, so
okay.
But yeah, you've spent as much time as I have, and you're only on chapter 5.
Yeah, well, I just finished chapter 5. But
you finished chapter 5. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been finding myself checking YouTube a little more often than I like sometimes to find places that just seem unintuitive.
Yeah, but there's a lot of that. A lot of that.
There sure is. And I think my greatest dissatisfaction is that I'll find myself, there's a mission that I was on where I had to go through multiple sequences to finally get to the end of it, where an enemy bursts out of a wall that's a level 90 dinosaur. Yep. And I don't know if you've gotten there or not, but it's like, well, okay, I can't possibly beat him now, so I can't finish this mission and check it off my list until much later in the game, I presume.
I would presume so. Yeah, I did not do that one, so I don't exactly know what you're talking about, but I've certainly run into enemies that are much more overpowered than where I am in the game. So, yeah.
Yeah. But nonetheless, I do like something like this that I can just sink some time into and always feel a nice level of progression. I'm not an MMO guy. I don't like really to play with other players that much. So this is kind of what I want from an MMO. Like when I did play World of Warcraft games like that, I rarely played with other players. I didn't get that far as a result, but this gives me exactly that kind of experience, but tuned for a single player.
I will say it's interesting. I'm on chapter 8. It's still throwing tutorial information at me.
Wow,
that's right.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So the other thing that I've been playing, actually 2 games that feel almost as if they're one. I picked up the physical copy of The End Is Nigh, which is the Edward McMullen game, and also got Super Meat Boy, which came out
and is apparently selling very well, which is great to see for them.
Yeah, they were saying it's selling at the same level that it was on 360 when it first came out.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Yep. Both games are really well suited to the device. I really like The End Is Nigh. It's more forgiving, certainly, than Super Meat Boy, and is more of a it kind of feels like Badlands or Leo's Fortune, almost like kind of a very hard 2D kind of mobile style action platform game. But I'm really digging it. I like the humor. I like the art style. Has anyone played that game yet?
No, I have not.
Which one?
No.
End Is Nigh?
The End Is Nigh.
End Is
Yeah.
Nigh. No.
Okay. Yeah. So if you like Tiny Barbarian or, certainly Super Meat Boy or Binding of Isaac, it's definitely something I would recommend. Good stuff. So that's what I've been playing.
Very cool. Anyone download the demo for Dragon Quest Builders?
I did.
Yeah, last year on the PlayStation 4.
Wow. Yeah, I went back to that and I've been playing it on the Switch because it's now available. And
that's a good game.
It is a fun game, fun video game. And got to the end of the demo last night, and I want to play more, so I might end up picking it up. I'm not exactly sure yet, but it's a cute game, and I like that it's a more directed experience than Minecraft.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, remember, I think we had this exact conversation a year ago.
I think we did. Yes, I think we did.
But,
yes.
But yeah, it's a good game, and that's exactly the reason I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I played the DQ Builders demo, I think originally. I don't know if I played it on the PS4 or the Vita, but I was waiting on it because they had said that they were bringing it to the NX.
Well, and this is a important fulfillment for me because I actually did buy Builders both on the Vita and the PS4 because my understanding was that it was cross-play, cross-save, and it wasn't. So there was no cross-save. So unlike Final Fantasy X and X-2, for instance, or Kiwami or some of these other titles, you couldn't have that kind of quote-unquote Switch experience on the PlayStation 4. Yeah. And ended up returning the PS4 version of Builders just because I couldn't have that. So now, finally, I can just have that consistent experience, which is exciting.
Indeed. I also picked up Super Beat Sports. Now, Beat
how's
Sports
that?
is a game that came out, I think, on Apple TV originally by Harmonix. And it's a rhythm-based sports game with some very simple little mini games like baseball and volleyball. And I was looking for something to play with my daughter because she's all up in the knack, and we finished knack 2 again.
I love that
for a second time, and
I love that you're suffering your way through that game over and over again.
She wants to start it a third time.
Such a good dad thing to do.
She wants to start it a third time, and I'm not sure I have the.
You're gonna do it. Your little girl wants to play games with you. Come on.
It's true. The funny thing is, so the trophies it tracks stuff, right? And we unlocked the red color knack, and it tells you like what percentage of people have gotten that trophy. It's like 5%.
Nice.
So,
wow.
I don't know how many people have been playing it. Like
5% of the people who bought it, and how did that game sell?
Yeah, I don't know. I really like knack 2.
I'm waiting to find it like super cheap, like not just discounted, but I enjoyed playing knack enough that I do want to play that, but I'm not spending a significant amount of money on it.
Knack 2 is way better, and it's a much better co-op game.
Yeah.
Because the first one did not have. It had sort of co-op, but not really. and the second one definitely does. It's a fun game. But back to Super Beat Sports. So I bought it in part to have something else cooperative to play with my daughter, and we started playing it, and it's good. You know, it's a rhythm game, and we've just probably played like the opening 4 or 5 stages in each of the mini games over and over again because my daughter has to get used to pressing the button at the right time, and there is a bit of team coordination that you have to do as well. Like it's set up where there's sort of lanes in the baseball game, and you have to switch lanes and deal with these aliens that throw things at you. And at one point, you have to like basically get on the other player's shoulder to hit an alien that's up high. So there's a little bit of coordination that we have to do. So there's a lot of daddy yelling at Charlotte. Like, get on my shoulders, get on my shoulders. It's not really yelling. You understand?
Is it something that's fun to play in handheld mode, or is it only something you really want to play with your Joy-Cons looking at the TV?
I mean, I've only played it with Joy-Cons looking at the TV. It does have it tracks multiplayer and single player separately, which is kind of interesting. And it does have motion control as well. If you have the Joy-Cons, you can actually swing instead of pressing a button. But we were just pressing buttons. And it's fun. It is a fun little game. It's only $15 too. So I felt pretty good about buying it. And yeah, that's
Cool.
Super Beat Sports.
I see.
Playing anything else, CJ?
No, should I be?
Well,
Xenoblade. And that's it.
before we moved on, I did want to talk to you guys about my big purchase of the week.
Oh, yes. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So, in light of the fact that it looks like it's not going to be till 2019 now that they're saying they're going to have 32 gigabyte, or no, was it 64 gigabyte carts for the Switch, and realizing that with games like Doom and LA Noire and Resident Evil Revelations, I've already had a lot of cartridge games taking up sometimes up to 25 gigs of storage. I decided.
I feel like somebody called that.
Yep.
Okay. I
His name is Greg Stewart.
I just want to voice that. Go ahead. Continue
I
your
decided,
story.
given that my 128 gigabyte card, now I have to unload the fridge and can't fit everything on it, I have upgraded for $250 to the 400 gigabyte card. That has to be special ordered, that you can't find in any store that I know of. I tried a number of them, and will hopefully now have the storage I need to not worry about everything filling up.
Now,
And
in a year's time, when the 400 gig is $20, I'll buy one. And
Sure.
you having bought it at $250, it'll memory prices always go down, right?
Ethan?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yep.
Ethan? I'm just curious where you had to special order this
Amazon.
from.
Yeah,
'Cause
I got it
you're
from Best
making-
Buy.
You're making it sound like it's some sort of
They're
elaborate
building it now.
thing you had to do. I mean, I just looked on Amazon. It's listed as Amazon's choice right now. You can have
what I'm saying is I
made
could
by a
not find
card.
it. I prefer to buy everything in store if I can. It's just easier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I went to a number of stores, electronic stores, and could not
That
find
does-
it anywhere.
That does sound a
So-
lot easier than just going on Amazon and having them bring it to you. You're right.
True.
For me, I would definitely prefer it that way.
So,
but
okay,
yeah,
a couple
That does
things.
seem easier.
Couple things I want to know.
Mhm.
What would it have? I'm not familiar with micro SD card prices or sizes. What does a smaller card cost? Like what?
Well, you can get like
It
the
depends.
one that I got at launch for the Switch, which is 200 gig, only cost me about $60 or $70.
Amazon has the 200 gig card for $69.34.
So you could have bought two 200 gig cards for $120, $140,
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
and you bought it. I don't.
He could have-
I don't-
Well,
could've-
then you have to switch cards.
the money,
Yeah.
Greg, the money that Ethan spent on his 400 gig card, he could have gotten 3 200 gig cards,
I do understand this though,
600
because
total gigs,
now
and
it's
still
not
had
gonna
and
have to swap.
still
Ethan
had
is
money
not going
left
to have
over.
to swap cards though, and
Okay, but you guys are. This is man. You know, like the hashtag first world problems. I hate
if he
that.
wants
but,
to,
oh my god, you guys,
you
seriously?
gotta admit though, Ethan
No.
plays a lot of Switch.
I don't have to.
Do you have to admit that?
anything? I
You
don't
have
have
to
to admit anything.
No, so here's the
plays a lot
thing.
of Switch, and
Yeah.
having games that he buys physical that have a download component, and he wants to keep them active in his library or whatever. I can see, you know, if you have the means and the money burning a hole in your pocket, then you get the 400 gig card, and then you don't have to worry about multiple tiny micro SD cards.
I guess
bringing them around with you.
So here's the thing, and it's all about picking and choosing where you want your increase in quality of life. So, you know, again,
quality
I had
of life. No, I can't. I
For
can't
me,
go with you.
no,
I'm
but-
sorry.
but
I can't go with
wait.
you on that.
Wait,
I can't
wait.
go with
Let
you
me
on that.
let
At
me
the
explain.
end of the 350 PS3 era, if you were like, I'm going to buy a 1 terabyte hard drive, you would have been like, you're insane. You're buying a 1 terabyte hard drive. You don't even need that space. But now here we are.
No. Okay, no. Back up. If you're telling me that there's a game on the Switch that I need over a 200 gig card for, that's different, because what you just said, yeah, I see what you're saying, but what you just said is along the same lines as, hey, remember like 30 years ago when we had a 100 gigabyte hard drive, and who the hell could ever use all this space? That's totally different than what we're talking about.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. When I mean quality of life, I mean a lot of people do legitimately feel that upgrading to a 4K television is a quality of life difference because it's a bigger screen. It might be OLED, curved, might be something that, you know, of course, it's in much higher res, and they can, you know, watch all of their Netflix and, you know, play their games in 4K. And that to them on a night for night basis is something that makes the experience better for them.
Sure.
Right. And
or
a
a nice sound system, or
Exactly.
other things. Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that those things are totally legitimate. I don't think my choices are better by any means than those, but I was in a position where I had some money that I could spend. You know, I had some Christmas gift money from family, and also some, you know, things to celebrate personally, and so decided to splurge a little bit. I did look at 4K TVs. I did look at Xbox One X. Chose not to get those, not because they aren't cool, but because I just realized that I would never have time to enjoy them. And so what I would enjoy is having no concerns at all about space on my Switch. And I also ended up picking up the Airbud,
Ooh, Airbud is great.
That is a good movie.
Oh my god! Did you see Airbud 2?
What the AirPods? Pardon me. You know, which
Well,
also
that's not nearly as good.
AirPods are fantastic.
and they are. And in like form, like that also was something that, you know, with my running a lot and all of that has
brings
been
it to
really
the
great.
hoop.
So
Oh yeah, AirPods, that's a fantastic purchase. And yeah, this I'm right there with you. Like quality of life, you don't want to switch multiple micro SD cards and manage that. I understand it.
Yeah. So did that.
And I will say, you can do the whole archive thing on the Switch. It is actually much easier to clean the fridge on the Switch than it has been with prior Nintendo consoles.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Where you archive the software, and it does not delete the save. It keeps the save.
Yep.
On the system memory while you delete things off your micro SD card.
But I do like having my stuff with me. And so again, that I never regretted my Waterfield case that I got, the SF Bags case. And in fact, that I also augmented so that I can now carry 13 cartridges instead of the 5.
All right.
So I just can have everything I want with me whenever I want. And that to me is...
Couldn't you fit another micro SD card in there instead of one of those cartridges? Or maybe with...
Have you seen how tiny those things are, though? Like that can pretty
that's
easily
kind of my
lost.
point. I feel like you and I just said the exact same thing. I try not to judge purchases. You had the money and that's fine. I'm not whatever. But I just, when I hear someone say that is a quality of life issue, that rings so completely ridiculous to me. I'm sorry.
I don't see it as a quality of life
Changing
thing.
a cartridge is not a quality of life thing.
I see it as you don't have to worry about storage anymore.
Yeah. And so...
you have to worry about storage with another 200 gig card.
But I would have to swap out the cartridges, the cards.
That's like 2 seconds of your life.
No, but it's not necessarily. I do that with the Vita.
All right,
and it's a
we're not
pain
going
in
to
the
get
ass.
anywhere from this. We're going in circles.
Yeah.
Here. But congratulations, Ethan, on
Yeah.
your extended storage for the Switch.
Thank you.
Congrats on buying a memory card. And
3 times the price.
congratulations. You done good today, son.
Yep.
I will be
I
joining
feel the
you.
same.
I will be joining you in the 400 gig world once those prices come down.
when it's cheaper to buy a bigger card than it is to buy 3 smaller cards.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
All right, let's do some tweets.
You know, this box of cereal cost me $3.
Let's do some tweets.
Tweedly deedly dee, tweet, tweet, tweet.
All right, let's do this
Who
one from
cares?
Hacker Alias, Rich Grisham, who says,
Oh, hey, I know him.
you will be pleasantly surprised if Nintendo releases blank, insert title here, in 2018.
I said Bippy.
What? I missed this. What are we doing?
That's a match game joke, you idiots.
Oh, okay. Metroid Prime 4.
Sure.
I don't think it'll happen, but that's the one that I want more than any other for this year.
Okay. I'm going to say Super Mario Maker.
Oh, we're talking about a game, Metroid Prime 4. Yeah. That's all I want on my Switch this year.
That's all you want?
Metroid Prime 4 would be neat.
Yeah.
I feel like asking for too many new games on the Switch is just setting myself up for disappointment. So.
All right. I'll really reach. I'll say I would also love it if we got surprised with Red Dead Redemption 2. And the file size for the microtransactions was just too big, so they had to cut that part of the game.
I will accept Red Dead Redemption remake. That'd be fine. But Nintendo, this isn't talking about
seems more
Nintendo.
likely.
Nintendo first party releases. That was the question.
Yeah, Metroid.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Trezor, who says, while we tend to tire of franchises over time, some games deserved more time in the sun. Which one-off games deserved a sequel/franchise? I'm going to say Split Second.
Man, Split Second makes me sad.
That makes me extremely sad.
More
I wish it would come back.
I mean, I wish there was a sequel to it, but more for the fact that BlackRock Studios made 2 fantastic racing games and then ceased to exist. And that sucked.
Shadow Complex.
Okay. That's a good one.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit since this game got a sequel. But the world needs more.
I don't think you understood the question.
You know what? I'm saying Beautiful Joe.
Oh, so you wanted to
Joe.
get a good sequel.
You want it to be a franchise.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm saying they cranked out Beautiful Joe 2 too quickly. They didn't let the original game have time to breathe, and the world needs more Beautiful Joe.
World needs more Vanquish.
Okay.
If we can get Bayonetta 2 and 3, we should get Vanquish 2.
Yeah, you never know.
I don't have an answer for this. I can't think of a game that I'm sure if I went back and looked at my collection, I could find like 6 or 7, but
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for this.
All right.
Ooh. L. Young in our chat says Einhander.
Einhander, that would be good.
That's good.
Very much agree with that.
That's a good one.
Yep. Yes.
All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Blarcade, who says Sega's official Twitter tweeted out a picture of a light bulb with the date of January 16th. What does everyone think this will be?
Ethan knows.
I don't, actually.
Really?
I have no idea.
A light bulb.
Dreamcast 2.
Do we know which
Bug 2.
Sega?
Bug 3.
Was it Sega Mobile or Sega America?
Just
at
at Sega.
At Sega. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm going to say Ultimate Genesis Collection coming to Switch. Let's do this.
I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that.
I'd be down with that. So
Is there any light? I'm trying to remember. Is there any games that have the word light in it? That's
Lightning Force.
Lightning Force.
Lightning Force. Yeah,
Lightning Force is finally.
Shining in the Darkness.
Oh,
I was thinking Shining.
Yeah,
but
we won't do that. Although that would be amazing.
Lights Street lights. Streets of
Rage.
rage. Streets of rage.
Street lights.
Market.
You
The
realize
Larrabee
it's,
Lock.
you realize
Streets
it's
of
just like
Rage.
Football Manager 2018, right?
Yeah, probably. They're bringing Aliens
Uh.
Colonial Marines to the Switch.
Ah.
Well, it's about time.
It was
There you
announced
go.
for Wii U.
Well, could
So that means
happen.
the work's done then.
Yeah, I don't know what this means. It's
L Young in the chat said nights. That's a great. No lights
Nights.
during nights. There you go.
Oh, there it is.
I like that. That's it.
Billy
They-
Hatcher.
They
Billy
should
Hatcher.
have a picture of
Billy
Greg's
Hatcher.
window if they want to
There's,
promote
there's
nights.
a light right there. Look.
Yeah,
I
and
do
there's
not, I do
nights.
not- I do not think it would be nights.
Well,
I'd be surprised.
that
But you
sounds
never
like
know.
that sounds like a man who knows something.
I feel like the fact that we've said it now a couple times on the show means that's exactly what it'll be because that seems
Yeah.
to be how it goes.
Yeah.
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 Hacker alias Rambus Dunk says, "Does anyone think Microsoft might have a few unannounced games to release in 2018? Forza
I sure
wasn't
hope.
confirmed.
They better.
Forza wasn't confirmed at this time last year, though a pretty easy assumption. Could they handle Halo 6 the same way? Would be unusual for Halo.
With Forza, I think they've set up a good where they've set up this year off, year on.
Yeah.
They don't need to announce it this early in the year. It's kind of assumed now. It would make more sense to announce that Forza Horizon 4 is not coming this year
Yeah.
than it would to announce that it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I
Yeah.
feel like is kind of just a given. I sure hope it's a given.
Me too.
But yeah, they've got to have. I hope they have multiple things that aren't announced right now.
Yeah.
I hope so too. Yeah.
But the question is what? I mean, Halo, sure, maybe that certainly would be the thing that would make the most sense. But outside of that, what else would get people excited?
I want to see new stuff.
I'd say anything.
Yeah.
Give me new IP.
As an Xbox One owner, any first party, it doesn't have to be an established franchise.
No.
Oh no, I know, and I agree with that. But I just think that we're seeing when even Sony is leaning on Spider-Man, right, for their quote unquote new game. Brands are super important. I mean, they're doing Detroit and
That's
other
true.
things as well, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would be interesting to see. I don't think we've certainly heard everything that's coming out on Xbox One this year.
Nights,
Probably.
It's nights.
All right, let's wrap up with this one from Hacker Alias. I finally watched. Who says favorite Olympic video games? I'm partial to Winter Heat on Saturn. And
Oh my God, Winter Heat is the best. Winter Heat.
Yeah.
That was going to be my answer.
Winter Heat is the best.
Winter Heat is awesome.
And of course, Decathlete is great too, but Winter Heat
Yeah.
was better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Decathlete's awesome. I was way into Track and Field 2 on the NES.
Oh yeah,
Almost
that
everybody
looked
was.
so good at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Can I say Newman Athletics?
well,
You
Not,
that's
not really Olympic, but it's Olympic style.
it's future Olympics.
Yeah. When
wanna say
you're
that.
when you're throwing missiles and stopping trains with your bare hands.
I'm legitimately curious as to whether or not we get more Mario and Sonic Olympics.
I would love to hear how the last round sold, but it feels like that's a bit of a cash cow.
Yeah. Well, especially on a system that's actually selling.
They haven't done one for South Korea yet, have they? Because boy,
No.
that starts soon.
It does. Yeah.
I really liked Epix's games back on the Commodore
Yes.
64.
Those
My
are fun.
cousin had a Commodore 64 and they had all those games and we played
Summer games,
a
and
lot of
winter
hours
games,
on those. Yeah.
World
Mhm.
games and
Yeah.
California games.
California games on. I remember that on
Terrible.
Lynx.
Ugh.
Thanks. Yeah.
What?
Ugh.
You ragging on California games?
Oh, I hated that game.
Oh, man, California games was fantastic.
Yeah,
Played that
it's-
on
Probably just because I sucked at it.
played
but
that on my C64, man.
Links.
I loved it.
played it on the Links.
Well, that's your problem. You need to play it on the C64.
Played it on the Genesis soon.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
are they making it for Genesis?
I'm pretty sure it did.
Huh.
I could be
Really?
wrong.
Oh. Cuckoo crazy.
All right. Is that a show?
I think so.
Okay. Alrighty, that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website, player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward,
Yeah, the latest one's kind of held up, but it's coming.
Okay. Generation 16 episodes as well.
Yes, episode 113 is out now for $3 plus Patreon subscribers, and will be on general release on January 22nd.
Nice. Very nice. And let's see, on playeronepodcast.com, we've got show notes and stuff, like relevant links to the stuff that we talked about during the show. And we also got a message board where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by going to the Apple Podcast app.
Yeah.
There you go.
You did it.
And or you can head over to the App Store, pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application for just $1.99.
Cheap.
Gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, the what have you. You also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
That's right, over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can check out archives of our shows, video archives, and watch us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast. And if you like what you've heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Keeps
Yeah, and in
Ethan
fact-
swimming in overpriced memory cards.
In fact, now if you back for more than or at $5 per
Yeah.
month, you
Yeah.
can get access to a special audio feed of After
Oh
Show.
my gosh. Oh my goodness. That's when the
Which we
the
need to
gloves-
remember to record after this.
Which, yeah, don't stop recording.
That's when the
After
gloves come off in that after show, folks.
What do we talk about?
That's
I
when
know
they-
what we're talking about this week.
That's when it gets a little blue.
It's gonna get blue. Yeah.
And if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com where you'll find a Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
That's right. Now's a
Go.
good time to support the show.
Yes, it is.
Sure
Oh,
is.
you know what? I'm going to promote this. I got something this week. Look at this.
We can't
For
even
all
hear
you-
you.
Oh, you
yes.
YouTubers, check this action out.
Yes,
This
that
is
gorgeous.
A brand new book just came out from the good folks at Bitmap Books over in the UK. This was, I believe this was kickstarted.
Yes.
Yep.
This is the unofficial SNES Super Famicom, a visual compendium. Is a thick ass book. How many pages is this thing? Like
A lot.
500 plus pages
Wow.
of amazing photography of SNES games, Super Famicom games, some commentary on said games. I contributed to this book. I wrote a
You know,
couple.
you know who else contributed to that book?
Greg Ford.
That's true.
Greg Ford.
Yeah.
So if
Ooh.
you like Greg Ford, or if you like me, Mom,
What percentage of the back end do you get, Phil?
what?
He gets all the back end.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, that's the percentage he gives.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I contributed to
The
that
love-
book too.
In the end, Greg, the love you take is equal to the love you make, my friend. I don't know if you heard that. No, Greg Stewart did this as well. I'm looking at the contributor list. Sam Kennedy,
Yeah, there's a lot of our
our pal
friends.
Sam
who
Kennedy,
contributed to this.
did some stuff on this. Howard Phillips.
Oh, nice.
You know,
Does
from
he
the
prefer
old.
Howie or Howie?
You'd have to ask
H-Dog.
him. You'd have to ask him.
H-Dog. Yep.
But yeah, Eugene Jarvis.
Nice.
Huh?
CJ's
Yeah.
favorite developer.
You know.
What?
So a bunch
Sounds like
of
a good.
there's a
good
bunch of
read.
people. Bunch of people.
And that that's the 5th compilation they've done, and it has made me want to go back and get the other 4.
Yeah, they did an NES one. They did a Commodore 64 one. There's an Amiga one. I believe there's a Spectrum one.
Yeah, I believe so.
Again, these books are published out of the UK, so
Yeah.
they have
Hmm.
memories of the Spectrum that,
But it
that
sure is
North
pretty.
America.
And I might have an
Oh.
extra one to give away this year for Extra
Oh,
Life.
nice.
Speaking of,
if you
oh, go ahead.
don't let me get my plug in. head over to bitmapbooks.co.uk, where you can order the SNES one, which I believe comes out February 1st is when this is officially coming out. So go check that out. It's a great book. And what were you saying, Ethan?
I was going to say that as you're waiting for that to be available on February 1st, I went to Barnes & Noble and on recommendation of Mr. Greg Stewart picked up Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, which is fantastic. And it's great to be able to just go to your local bookstore and be able to pick that up.
Yeah.
Or you could get it for like half the price on Amazon.
I got to give Ethan props to that for that one. That was great. Yeah. Good job, Ethan.
Thank you.
How much did you pay for that book?
Like $9 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. Just checking.
As Phil Googles.
Yeah, he's furiously trying to see how much it costs on Amazon.com right now.
It's $9 on Amazon, so I can only imagine that you paid the $16 cover price.
I feel like I feel like Ethan. I don't know. He got the final word in there. I feel like he won. I think he won the episode.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it was a Hail Mary 11th hour. Yeah. But it paid off. It paid off. It was a solid burn. Solid burn.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah. He froze you. He had you speechless.
But oh man.
Yeah.
Dang it. Dang it.
I mean, you're not done your outro yet, so there's a chance. But I don't know. The clock's ticking.
Come on.
Okay.
We're
Let's
gonna
see.
throw
From half court. It's
DJ.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil. And also want to remind everybody, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Seward every Tuesday and Thursday night. And you can be a subscriber. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you subscribe for free.
That's true.
Please, if you are a subscriber like that, re-up every month because it's only good for 1 month.
Ethan.
Yes.
Here it comes.
Right there. Sit and spin, buddy.
I feel like he still won.
Dang it.
He still won. Yeah.
But I did the whole thing where I
know it was
the finger over the other arm.
Yeah.
It looked like
it's below the dignity of your office.
That's not true.
I feel like that's not true anymore. But
Ethan's in one of those shithole states.
Yikes.
The bar has been lowered.
Yeah.
Trickle down.
No, Ethan, I'm just playing with you, buddy. You know that.
Oh, and I like getting flipped off. So no worries.
Frankie in my old age is the
I don't
problem.
know if I'd go that far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, Ethan, this will cheer you up. Look,
Mhm.
I made a little Lego George Lucas.
Aw.
Isn't that cute? He's gonna hang out in my Lego diner. So
Why don't you go to his house right now and show it to him and see if he's impressed?
Well, I
Knock
don't
on
live
his
in-
windows, every window, until someone answers.
Yeah, I believe George Lucas is lurking right outside Greg's window right now.
All right.
I understand there's a podcast going on in here. Anyone want to chat about American Graffiti?
We dragging this out another 15 minutes? Come on, Phil.
You want to talk about?
Come on.
I have some behind the scenes news about Tucker, a man in his dream that I can
All right.
share
Next week, everybody.
next week.
Let's do it.
Bye.
So long.
Bye.
So long, you jerks.